What a wonderful Wednesday it is. Welcome in to DRF Sportsbook Daily, our betting live stream coming at you every single day. We're a little later than usual. Apologies for that, about 2 hours later than what we normally come on with, but hopefully that means I had more time to research, maybe more time to make some 4-0 picks. We'll see how that pans out, but we're coming off of a fantastic 3-1 day yesterday. One bad loss, but other than that, some fantastic wins, if I do say so myself. Really pumped about the momentum we're going to carry into today because we all know betting's all about momentum. Except it's not really. Welcome in again. If you're not already, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Type in at DRF Sportsbook and we'll pop up. The 4 games we have on the docket for today are some 4 good ones, 4 really solid ones. And then the featured free game of the day, I don't know how I feel about my pick. I'm confident in it, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a bold strategy. St. Louis against the Cubs. That's game 1. Dodgers against Giants. That's game 2 we're going to be breaking down. Brewers-Pirates is game 3 in our featured free game today. Rockies-Padres. This was a last-minute change. We were originally going to do, I believe, we were going to do the Dodgers-Giants as our featured free game of the day, or the Cardinals-Cubs. But after that Juan Soto news yesterday, the movement on the Padres to win the World Series going from plus 1,300 to plus 1,200, I haven't checked if it has moved at all today. Juan Soto and Josh Bell are probable and expected to play after being traded from the Nationals last night. It's not a nationally televised game. It's on MLB Extra Innings, MLB.tv, if you're a subscriber to things like that. So it's not necessarily the biggest game in terms of national relevance, but I just want to break that game down because the interest I have in watching Juan Soto move across the nation, go to San Diego, and see what he can do when he's paired up with Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis whenever he comes back as well. So we're gonna be breaking down that game for our featured free game of the day, a little bit. But we have these first 3 games coming up first. Cubs, Cardinals. Cardinals minus 170 tonight against the Cubs. They won game 1 6-0. The Cardinals have now won 4 of their last 5. On the other side, the Cubs have now lost their last 3. And in that 3-game losing streak, they've been shut out twice. They scored 4 runs in the first loss they had. So they're averaging about 1.3 runs per game. Their offense has been anemic. They came out of the All-Star break looking pretty solid, but since then, especially as of late, they just have not been able to put it all together. On the season, though, they do average 4.2 runs per game. A little bit of a pop in that lineup, the .392 slugging percentage, and have hit triple digits in home runs. But these Cardinals, they're a lot better of a team. 4.6 runs a game. They only allow 3.9. And if I can get the Cardinals at minus 170, I'm doing that all day, every day. Miles Mikolas, best mustache in the major leagues, is taking on Justin Steele. Mikolas is 8-8 this season with a 2.86 ERA. With an ERA that solid, you'd think his win-loss would be better than 8-8. He's going up against Justin Steele, who is 4-8 with a 3.86 ERA. Over his last 3, he has brought that down to about a 2.45 ERA. So solid stuff from Justin Steele as of late. But the Cubs 0-6 this season when they're coming off of getting shut out. Not very good. St. Louis on the other side, 6-3 when they're coming off of a shutout. Those 2 things factor in just a little bit to why I'm going Cubs to lose, Cardinals to win at minus 170. I'd also lean the under. I just don't have any faith in the Cubs offense to get anything going and help get to that magic 8 number. Cardinals pushed across 6 runs last night, but the Cubs pushed across none. So I'm leaning the under, and I'm going for sure the pick, Cardinals minus 170. Moving on from that game, Dodgers-Giants, a nice little nightcap. I believe first pitch for this one is 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Julio Urias is getting the start. He's going up against Alex Cobb of the Giants. Giants are plus 150. Total is set at 7.5 runs. Dodgers have won the last 2 games, the first 2 games, I should say, of this series, of this 4-game set. San Francisco has not had a lot of dominance at home. They're just 29-25 at San Francisco so far this season. They came into this series 3-0 against the Dodgers at home. That's quickly changed after losing the first 2 games of this series. They're now just 3-2 against the Dodgers at home, and they have a losing record against LA so far on the season. Urias is 10-6, 2.71 ERA, solid stuff. And as of his last 3 starts, I believe he's 3-0 with a 1.35 ERA. So Julio Urias has been really solid as of late. Alex Cobb on the other side, a 4.39 ERA, losing record. Aren't looking too great. I'm going Dodgers in this one, minus 160. I think they win tonight's game. They win 3 of the 4. I'm not sure how the 4th game will go, but I think the Dodgers win tonight, secure the series win, and they'll be playing in the 4th game. But Dodgers, the bats have just been wildly alive as of late. They've been winning their last 3 games by 4+ runs or more, a really solid mark. And in the 4th game of when that happens, I know it's a little convoluted. Let me repeat that. They've won their last 3 games by 4 or more runs. In the 4th game of that so far this season, they're 4-1. A little bit weird, a little bit wonky, but it has a good rating on drf.com/sports, a good breakdown there of a really good, insightful trend of how the Dodgers have been performing this season. Dodgers have also done really well this season against pitchers who strike out a lot of batters. They are 20-7 this season against pitchers who strike out 5 or more batters. I'm interpreting that as the Dodgers like to swing, and if they're going up against a pitcher who's going to pound the strike zone over and over again, they're going to make that pitcher pay, and we've seen it. The bats have come alive. They average 5.3 runs per game. They allow just 3.3 runs per game, so they're outscoring opponents by an average of 2 full runs this season, one of the highest marks across all the majors, right up there with the Yankees. They may have actually surpassed the Yankees after these last couple of games. And then on the flip side, the Dodgers, after All-Star break, seem to be firing on all cylinders. They've hit the 70-win mark. They look like they're powering towards October. San Francisco, the wheels have fallen off completely post All-Star break, and it's kind of sad to see. They were looking pretty solid. They were in the race over there on the West Coast, but now they're 2 games under 500, and I think they only have like 2 or 3 wins since the All-Star break. They're really sputtering. Wheels have fallen off, and they're trying any type of way to get back into the win column. That's not going to happen tonight with Alex Cobb getting the start on the bump. I think Julio Urias, I think the Dodgers, I think the bats continue to stay alive. If you want to get a little bit greedy, maybe go Dodgers minus 1.5 in this spot. You'll get it at plus money. You can really juice up your line. If you're putting down a parlay, that could really boost up your odds on that. I'm going to stay safe. I'm going to go Dodgers minus 160. And I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna be happy with that. Dodgers minus 160 is the play for sure. If you want to juice it, minus 1.5, I can't blame you because I think they'll win this game by a wide margin. But I'm just not chancing it. And our third and final game tonight, Brewers-Pirates. Pirates are plus 190. The total is set at 8.5. Pittsburgh did win game 1 of this series last night, 5-3. It snapped a 7-game losing streak for Pittsburgh. But the key of the game was Milwaukee had 5 more hits than the Pirates, but they stranded 9 runners. You're not winning a lot of MLB games when you strand 9. You win a lot of MLB games when you out-hit your opponent, but when you can't bring them around to score, that is absolutely killer. After a 4-game win streak, the Brewers have now lost their last 2, including the first game against the Pirates. So not great as of late for Milwaukee, but post All-Star break, they are sitting at 7-3. So solid stuff. Before this little 2-game streak, they were 7-1. Brewers have been playing pretty well post All-Star break. They're starting Freddie Peralta tonight, and then the Pittsburgh Pirates are starting Tyler Beede. Tyler Beede's getting his first start of the year. He's pitched over 40 innings so far this season, I believe 23 appearances. So it's by no means an unexperienced arm that hasn't seen any action. I believe it's just a bullpen day for the Pirates, trying to give their rotation a little bit of a rest, put some bullpen guys in. And I think for a Milwaukee offense that's been kind of lackluster all season, they average 4.6 runs, a good 4.18 slugging percentage, but you kind of expect a little bit more out of them with the names they have in this lineup. I think they'll be able to get to this Pittsburgh pitching staff pretty early on, put up a couple runs. And that's why I'm leaning Milwaukee, not just Milwaukee minus 210. Not enough juice there for me to really bet that. That's why I'm going Milwaukee minus 1.5 at minus 132. I think they're going to severely outscore the Pirates tonight in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's just 22-29 this season at home. Milwaukee is 31-36 on the road this season. Not a great mark, but they're 12-6 when they're minus 200 or better. So give me Milwaukee not only to win by 2 or more runs. You can get that at minus 132 over at DRF Sportsbook. Just type in ia.drf.com to check it out, or you can download the DRF Sportsbook app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. So, quick recap of our MLB best bets. We're going Cardinals to beat the Cubs minus 170. We're going Dodgers to beat the Giants minus 160. A lot of value there, in my opinion, for the Dodgers at minus 160. I'd go all the way up to minus 200, minus 210. I think that's almost the lock of the day. And then Brewers-Pirates. I think Brewers are going to win. Again, maybe it's the lock of the day for them to win. They are minus 210. Lots and lots of faith in Milwaukee, in the Brew Crew. I'm going to go all the way to minus 1.5 at minus 132. Give myself a little bit of juice, give myself a little bit more value, because when they win, I believe it'll be by 2, 3, 4, 5 runs. Really beat up on this Pittsburgh team that is throwing out some bullpen arms to start the day, and against kind of a respectable offense with the names of Christian Yelich, Willy Adames, things like that. I think they can get to Pittsburgh and they'll be able to push up a couple runs and really bolster the scoreboard early on in it. So if you're not already, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere that you find social media content. Go ahead and give us a follow at DRF Sportsbook. We'd be greatly appreciative of that. You can find all these lines, everything like that, if you're in Iowa, at DRF Sportsbook. Type in ia.drf.com in your search bar, or you can download the DRF Sportsbook app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store. Plenty of awesome daily boosts, specials, everything like that coming at you each and every day.